everybody.
Well, it usually means that.
Chris is here. Thanks very much for popping in. Welcome to part 7, the final part of Paul's Essen diary with special guest star Luke Hector from the Broken Meeple. I'm at Luke's house tonight.
I was going to say special guest star. You haven't got a choice in the matter.
No, that's true.
Vlog at my house. You do it.
So yeah, Luke drove us back from Essen earlier on today, and we've arrived home. We've had pizza, we've had chips, and yeah, it's the end of the journey. Yeah.
Don't you talk about being tired, mate? I was flagging on that road.
So a lot of the questions that I've been asked over the last 5 or 6 days are: what's the best game of the show? What's the most underdog game that I've played that was really good? And as I've said in every other live stream that I've done for the last 5 or 6 days, I'm not the person to ask. I've hardly played any games at the event whatsoever. Luke's been playing a lot, so you've got any questions?
I've played like about 6 or 7.
That's 6 or 7 more than me.
You know, we buy our games or we get them as review copies, then bring them home, and then we find out if they're good.
Yeah, ask us in December.
Yeah, ask me when I do my top 10 of the year. There we go.
Yeah.
And
So
none of Paul's games are on it.
We don't really have that much to say, other than both of us have been working this morning. So I've been demoing Frosthaven this morning. Luke's been demoing Spirit Island.
Yeah.
This morning, and then we finished demoing around 2 o'clock, and then it was just a quick half-hour dash around the halls, see a final couple of people. Yeah. And then the drive home. But the drive home was.
It's like 10 to 15. What does that translate for?
30 minutes.
Yeah, at least.
The drive through Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and France was fine.
Yeah.
And we actually got on an earlier tunnel. So if you arrive at the tunnel in enough time to catch the earlier one, and they can fit you on, they do. So we literally didn't even have any time to call in and grab a coffee or anything like that. It was just arrive at the terminal and then drive straight onto the train. So we did. Unfortunately, we then got to the UK and
then the UK decided, screw you guys, go back to Europe.
Yeah. The motorway was closed, and we ended up on these country roads in the middle of nowhere.
Which is like, trust the sat nav, it'll get you through. Trust the car, it'll get you there.
And it did. It was just it was a windy country. It was weird because you come off the motorway and literally 30 seconds later you're on this tiny little country road in the middle of nowhere. It was weird.
We're from the West Country. Tiny country roads are a thing.
Yeah. But anyway, we've arrived back home.
You nearly cried.
Yeah.
But no, yes, we did finally. I said we did finally.
Yeah. So did we pick anything up today? Did you pick any other new games up today?
11, because Portal had to only 11 with the solo mode, so that's on the review. Revive, I have to email the guy after the event.
You might get it.
Well, no, I think I will get it now.
You just couldn't pick it up because it was the demo copy?
Yeah, if I got it from there, it would have had to have been a demo copy which they were playing on. But he said, email me afterwards, they can post in the Europe hub. So, yeah, I think Revive is going to be a review copy.
Good.
On top of everything else, because there's like 5 bags down there for other stuff. And that's even taking all my filler games out that I bought for the trip. That's saying something.
Yeah. And I picked up Hoplomachus Remastered and Hoplomachus Victorum this morning. So I'm going to be covering those games on the channel at some point. But the Chip Theory Games basically said, look, Paul, if we've got spare copies of the games available, you might as well take them with you today if you can, because then we don't have to suddenly send you them at short notice if we find out that, when backers are going to get it. So I now have copies of those games. I'll be doing an unboxing video of them probably this week if I get a chance. If not, it'll be early next week. And yeah, so they're the ones that I picked up today. And wow, were they heavy? They were so heavy. Both of those games in a bag, I couldn't carry with one arm. I had to take one of the games out of the bag in order to carry it in the other arm because both of them together. The boxes are not ginormous boxes.
No, but they're full of giant
poker
chips.
Yeah, literally. Actually, what Chip Theory Games might have done is actually taken out the game components and replaced it with bricks. That's what it felt like.
Well, possibly. I mean, put it this way: we drove. It takes a tank of fuel to get from my place to Essen city centre or whatever, and it didn't hit the light before we got to the inn. It did shortly after.
Yeah.
So it had enough of the thing. Filled up the tank to the brim before we left Essen. It got on the light about 10 miles out of Waterlooville, so not a huge amount of difference. But yeah, that extra weight in the car. sort of made up for it.
Yeah. Now, we did get questioned by Customs on the way in. Very, very nice lady at Customs asked us various questions, which started out...
I like that, James. Brick Theory
Theory
Games.
Yeah, Meeple Pete's here. Good to see you again, Meeple Pete.
Yeah. Did packing everything into the car go okay? Well, once...
We had space. We actually did have space.
Well, yeah, once Paul took most of your stuff out.
Yeah. Only because, and I said this yesterday, Nilsson and Vashti have taken like 10 bags worth of games off me. If it weren't for that, we wouldn't have brought everything back.
I mean, we just about had enough space with the revised stuff and the new stuff we put in. Yeah. And I do mean just.
Yeah. you could just see out the back window, which was fine.
Which I kind of need.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I need it in order to stop. I need it in order to spot all the European drivers tailgating me like crazy. I nearly lost my rag with most of Europe. It's like...
So we got stopped by Customs, and this nice lady asked us various questions like, "Where have you been?" You know, the standard questions. Well, we've been to Germany. Did you take the Channel to Germany? Yes, we did, and we've come back. And was it just you two on the way out? Yes. And it's just you two on the way back.
Well, except for Pedro, but
apart from Pedro, yeah.
Pedro.
And then it was, and whose car is it? And then it started getting a bit. And how long have you owned the car?
Well, no, I don't mind when they're talking about the car. It was when they said like,
what was your
purpose in Germany? And you mentioned Games Fair, and I thought, oh god, they're going to start asking about the stuff in the back.
Yeah.
And thankfully, they were more interested in what a Games Fair was than whether we'd actually bought stock.
But then, asking you how long you've owned the car, I was like, what's that got to do with it?
No, well, I didn't care if they asked me stuff about the car. I can answer everything about the car. Although you try to diffuse the situation
with humour.
Well, yeah,
which worked. And as soon as I did, they let us go. So yeah,
by taking the mick out of Bessie.
I didn't.
You did?
No, I didn't.
You said asking why it's yellow.
Yeah, that was no way intended as a slur or anything.
Oh, of course not.
So yeah, that was it. And then it was just the drive back. Really, stop at the co-op for a pizza and chips, and now we're here. That's it. Journey's over. We've got a lot of games to cover in the next. I mean, I haven't even covered all of the games that I picked up last year's Essen. So
the scope of the workload is somewhat scary.
Yeah,
that's not including just daily life and job. I mean, I've got to go to work tomorrow. I would much rather be unboxing about 25 games or whatever. Oh yeah, that's the intention.
That's what you'll do tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm not going to the Monday club. No, I finish work, I get back, and I focus entirely on that.
I mean, I've got my schedule for the next sort of 5-6 weeks was already pretty much booked out full anyway. But you can't not go to Essen and be excited about all of the new games that is coming out. So I've brought home enough games to cover on the channel for the next 3 or 4 months. And it's just a case of trying to fit everything in. I've got playthrough videos for ISS Vanguard coming, mobile markets, something else. And yeah, I've brought back a copy of Revive that I want to play as soon as possible. Starship Captains, I want to play as soon as possible. The reality is we just don't have time to play all of these games within the next couple of weeks.
No. Most of this stuff is going to last me until December. It's a case of, can I get them all played before I do my top 10 of the year? And then hopefully that. I mean, technically, I suppose I should do my top 10 of the year in January. That would make life a bit easier. But the problem is everybody else does their top 10 at the end of the year.
Except for me, who does it a year after everybody else.
Yeah.
I will.
But that's when I do my retrospective one, when I go, right, where's all the other stuff from 2022 I didn't play?
Yeah. I thought about doing that. But yeah,
retrospectives are good.
Yeah,
you can catch up on a few titles. Not to mention, it's cool how your taste changed. I mean, Cascadia shot up my chart from like 10 to 2.
Okay.
As a result of playing it more and getting it being a bit closer to the top there as opposed to last time. So.
Pass has got a very good question. If not for work, obligations, etc., what game would you play ASAP? For me, it's probably Revive. Revive is probably, out of all of the games that we brought back, there's a lot of them that I would want to play soon, but Revive is probably the number one, and that is basically because everything I've heard about it fits in my sweet spot of medium to heavy Euros, and I've heard only good things about it, so it would probably be Revive.
I still know nothing about its mechanics. I just keep hearing everyone bang on about it, it's like, fine, I'll get a copy then.
Yeah. What about you? Number one game that you would play like tomorrow? If you had the day off work tomorrow and I was staying here, what game would you... Because you don't have work obligations for these games. Although you do have review obligations.
I have review obligations and I have a different work obligation.
Yes.
Called tax. But, I mean, pre-Essen stuff that still needs to be played includes ISS Vanguard, and that definitely needs playing. But in terms of what I bought from Essen, I mean, no obligations that I could just concentrate on getting it done. Deal with the Devil would certainly be a good one, but that's going to require a group and specifics.
Yeah.
So
You're really excited about that one, aren't you? What is it about it?
it's
Is
it's a
it,
different theme, and
It
it
is.
sounds like, I mean, I like app integration. It's a different theme, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of like fun banter between everybody as everybody starts thinking, all right, who's
Yeah,
who's who around here or something.
with the right group,
Yeah,
it will be
I can
brilliant.
I can see it being quite fun, but it's
Yeah.
going to be just a little effort to do it. But that and Starship Captain, yeah, pretty much the CGE stuff.
Meeple Pete's playing it on Tuesday. Let us know what you think. Let us know on the Slack channel what you think, because I've been honest about this game.
Yeah.
I'm professionally involved in Deal with the Devil, in that I helped playtest it like 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe. But I've done the how to play video, so I was sponsored by CGE to create the how to play video. But I'm still honest with my opinion about it, in that this game is a work of genius. It's absolutely incredible. It's Matoush Kotri, designer of Alchemists. He does a lot of work with CGE Digital. But saying that, this is not a game that I can see me playing. I might play it once more to see if I get it more. But it's not a game that I would ever.
You need to Deal with the Devil playthrough on the channel, actually, because that would be a fun video.
People have said that. People have said it would be a fun video to do a Deal with the Devil playthrough.
They don't need to see the app. It would just be 4 of you doing the thing.
Yeah. But it's a little bit like Alchemist in a way that it makes you. Although Alchemist is deduction at a level where I've got the information in front of me and I now need to work it out. Deal with the Devil is much more about reading the table and seeing what the other players are doing. And it was very clear from my one playthrough that the other players had worked things out and I hadn't got the faintest idea what was going on at all. So yeah, brilliant game, work of genius, extremely clever, and it's not something which I'm going to be able to play very well. But I'm really excited to find out what other people think. So yeah, Meeple Pete, when you play it, post on the Slack channel, let us know what you think about it. So Deal with the Devil for you, Revive for me. That is our games that if we could play it right now, if we were awake right now and you have 3 other people who wanted to play it,
yes,
you'd play that.
Yeah, you can play at least Revive by yourself.
I'll play Revive solo, yeah. I am also very curious about the War of the Ring card game. Because
that I did enjoy, yeah.
You've enjoyed it, other people have enjoyed it, I've got a copy of it. I had no idea that it was basically Quartermaster General of the Rings.
Well, there's not really. I wouldn't
Is
call
it
it
that or not?
Well, no, because Quartermaster General has like the map and everybody's. And yeah, yes, everyone's deck is asymmetric, but it's still basically units and events and stuff. But obviously, there's Mordor and there's Isengard and there's Free Peoples.
Can you say Mordor and roll the R, please?
Mordor.
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 Got to roll the R. So yeah, so that's
Mordor Dojo. No,
so I'm keen on trying that.
But yeah, so it doesn't have the map. You've just got like 2 places you can fight over. The main reason it's got Ian Brody's name on it and why people compare it to that is because of the finite the deck.
Right.
Your deck of cards being your resource effectively for the entire game.
Okay.
You know, if you can cycle them back, great. If they get eliminated, you don't see them ever again. So you overcommit Gandalf in the first path. By the time you get to the 8th and 9th path when you're at Mount Doom, you don't have Gandalf handy.
Right.
It's that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a war game specific or anything like that. I wouldn't say that. And no, not Lord of the Rings card game. War of the Ring.
War of the Ring card game.
Which frankly shouldn't even be called War of the Ring card game because it's got nothing to do. Well, it's not like the big 4-hour ridiculous big one.
Yeah. Ugo's in the chat.
Yeah.
There you go. War of the Ring card game is the one that he played right now as well.
You do know we have to chat on the other tablet.
My eyesight, I can just about read it from there.
Fine.
What was the other question that came in then? There was another question about.
Well, it was one about how many games we brought back. I mean, in my case, I've got 2.
A lot.
I mean, if you know the gaming tables bags or something, I've got 2 of those premium ones, green full. I've got a blue small one full, and a couple of smallish bags. And that, I mean,
I'm gonna guess
20 to 25.
I'm gonna guess 30 for you.
I think 20 to 25. Probably 25.
Okay.
At tops. And it could even be slightly less than that because I don't know how much that is expansions. But yeah, 20 to 25. Okay. I would estimate.
And my situation is slightly different because
yours is triple digits.
Yeah, but to be fair, and for those of you that don't know, and I've mentioned this on every video log for the last week, I've brought games home like Luke for me to cover on the channel and to play, but I've also been collecting games for the Gridcon raffle, which we're running next month, and I've probably brought back about 20 to 25 games for me and the channel, and probably about 100 games, maybe not 100, but probably about 75 games which publishers have given to me and donated to put into the raffle. So yeah, brought a lot of games back, but yeah, 3/4 of the ones I brought back are not for me. They're going into the raffle.
No. Although you were testing the strength of my suspension, I can tell you that.
Well, that was when we put Hoplomachus into the back of the car. And
that was when you put your Feld City collection in there.
Yeah, but that's not in there anymore.
No, but it was. And you almost didn't come home because of it. You were like, Paul, this is on the passenger seat. You don't get rid of the Feld collection. There's no room for you.
Jim's got a question. Who is your favourite person, designer, company to meet up with? Well, mine's easy.
Because you work for them.
And it happened today, and it was the last person that I saw before leaving the halls. But what about you?
Oh, so not Stefan, right? Oh, yeah.
What about you?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, your fanboy moment. I mean, it was good to hang out with Great and Games, frankly. Just the fact, I mean, I chose specifically to demo for them.
Yeah.
2 games I love. I wanted, Chris Bedell's a great guy. The rest of the gang seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, it was good enough to meet them. I mean, I've met the Dice Tower crew before, fine. I don't think I met anyone new specifically that I hadn't seen before in that. So yeah, I mean, just a chance to hang out with that publisher, really.
Yeah.
All the others I'd already made that. Kudos to Luke's car. Yes. Kudos to Bessie.
Yes. For me, if you want to just disappear for a couple of minutes while I fanboy moment over this. So Stefan Feld...
Shall I get some romantic music?
Get some romantic music on. So Stefan Feld has been one of my favourite designers for a long time. I first played his games whatever year in the Year of the Dragon came out. I think it was maybe 2006, 2007, something like that. And he's been one of my favourite designers for a long time. I've got more games in my collection of his than anybody else. That's not romantic music.
I don't know. It's just
don't worry about it.
Somebody find me a romantic.
So yeah, so I've been a big fan of his and him as a games designer, and I've liked lots and lots of his games over the years. And at the moment, I'm working professionally with him, but not directly. I'm working on the Stefan Feld City collection with Queen Games. So I don't have any direct contact with Stefan himself, only with Queen Games. But he's been at the Queen Games booth for the last few days, and he's been inviting people to play games with him and everything else. And I said, I think I said on Wednesday's vlog that, I'm really excited about tomorrow because I'm going to get a chance to sit down. No, I think Tuesday's vlog. I said I'm going to get a chance to sit down with him tomorrow and play a game with him, and that didn't happen. And not only did that not happen, I didn't see him at all. I've spent the entire convention, and every time I've been by the booth, he's not been there. Every time they message me and say, "Can you come by and get a game of him at like 1 o'clock?" I'm working. So I thought today, Luke was waiting at the car. I thought I've got my heavy bags. I'm just going to go by the Queen Games bit.
Yeah, there's me by the car wondering why
Waiting.
10 to 15 is 45 minutes or so. We got to get out by 3. And what were you doing?
I thought I'll just go by the booth in case he's there and just to say goodbye to Ulrich and Rajiv and the other Queen Games people. And he was there, and I did have a bit of a moment because he said to me that he's a big fan of my videos. He loves the way that I teach games and everything else. And I'm like, oh, so yeah, got my photo taken with him, and yeah, that's it. It's a little weird.
You carry on.
It's a little weird considering how much of a fan I am of his to find out that he watches some of the videos and he likes them. Anyway, so that was pretty much a big moment for me.
All right, too late.
What else have we missed in the chat?
He said trying to get some Nora Jones on, and a bit too late with it. I was like, although, damn, if I thought Titanic, that would have been
Titanic music.
That would have been
perfect.
perfect.
Have done it. Would have done it.
What's that song? It's like do 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 do. It's like that cheesy song that
Hilmar's in the chat. Hi Hilmar. When are you heading back? I don't think you've headed back today, are you? So you're probably heading back tomorrow.
No.
What else we got?
Nora Jones. I've had the time of my. It's not the time of life. The one I was trying to remember was the song from Ghost with the pottery wheel or something. I thought that I could just, basically just Paul and Stefan Feld making pottery jars together.
Well,
my woman.
Favorite meal of Essen.
Feld.
Favorite meal of Essen. Favorite meal of Essen is a really easy question to answer because I actually answered that question in the car on the way back. We went to Fitzpatrick's for the meetup on Thursday night. Fitzpatrick's have changed their menu, and they had street food on the menu.
Well, they called it Sri Lankan
street
food, which basically translated to biryani.
Yeah.
A nice biryani, but biryani.
Yeah. And the chicken one had vegetables in it, and the vegetable one had chicken in it. So we swapped them over. But yeah, it was really, really nice. So yeah, always recommend Fitzpatrick's. Great place, great food, and it's a good place. Unchanged Melody, that was the one.
Yeah.
So Hilmar's heading back tomorrow
He's
at
in-
2 p.m.
he's in
Oh, you're in
Frankfurt,
Frankfurt already, right? Okay. So yeah, favourite meal of Essen is an easy one. Favourite food in Germany, beer.
Well, to be fair, it was
The beer's good.
well, to be fair, that was also the favourite food of that night. I thought I'll take it easy. Yeah, it'll be fine. Just actually saying that I did start with a Long Island iced tea because I
You
just
did.
really fancied the cocktail, but there's another beer after. I was like, all right, I'm just going to curb it here. I'm going to go back, do a vlog later, and then Jeremy Howard.
And then
arrived.
Jeremy Howard arrived, and
Which, yes, means drink. Especially when the two of us get talking, because we're pretty much two peas in a pod when it comes to speaking our minds. So it's
Yeah.
like, yep, okay, round after round after round,
Yeah.
lots of beer.
Meeple Pete said, yeah, he wanted to leave, but then he bumped into Vital Lacerda.
Well, somebody had to keep Vital busy while while he was consoling himself after the heartbreak of not being invited.
Not being invited to the meetup.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm sure I invited him. I mean, I've invited him to Gridcon.
he's like, you invited that that solo mode podcast, but you didn't invite me. Come on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I designed the game that he made the solo modes for, and you didn't invite me.
Yeah. I'm sure I invited him. I thought I'd invited him. So Vital's coming to Gridcon, and for those of you that are coming to Gridcon, if you want to get a game with Vital or bring any of his games that you want signed, he'll be more than happy to do that. Richard Breeze is going to be at Gridcon as well. Mike Nudd is going to be at Gridcon. Alan Paul is going to be at Gridcon, and they're all going to be bringing prototypes with them. So I'll be posting stuff on the Gridcon Facebook page. Because I kind of want them to let me know what games they're bringing and what games they want to playtest, so that I can announce it, so that people can, people know about it in advance. Is basically the plan for that.
We gotta get in contact with Feld though and make him turn up as a surprise.
That'd be good.
Like we bring in one of those. We bring in one of those giant birthday cakes that the thing comes out of it. And although can we get one tall enough to fit Stefan?
Probably not.
No, it's like was it one of his heads just sticking out of the top of the cake?
The photo of Stefan Feld and me next to each other is very apparent that one of us is very, very tall and one of us isn't very tall. I have invited Alexander Pfister, but he doesn't travel well, so he can't come.
That's a weird question. Did you notice any gaming trends that were pushed beyond the limit? Is that what?
It's a very, very good question, but I think it might need to be asked later on.
I was going to say, is that Essen related or is that just globally? That might.
Yeah, but so many new games get released at Essen. Maybe we played a new game, maybe we played a new game at Essen that took a mechanism and pushed it too far and ended up it not working whatsoever. I don't know. But certainly any gaming trends that were pushed beyond their limit. No, I mean, I've not played enough to know.
We'll let you know when Voidfall comes out.
Do you think Voidfall might have pushed something beyond the limit? What has it pushed beyond the limit? Just complexity?
Just complexity. 'Cause
Okay.
I remember enjoying it when I played it, but like last year or something. But even after I backed it, I thought, yeah, hang on a minute, this is going to be one hell of a complex Euro game to get out. I mean, On Mars was pushing the limit from a Vital Lacerda perspective.
Yeah, Voidfall does look
quite insane,
quite complex.
But I mean, nothing else really too much.
I feel sorry for the person who's going to have to do a how to play video for Voidfall.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want to be that guy.
They haven't asked yet, but I suspect they might be asking. No, I think they have asked. I think they have. I can't remember now.
No amount of TLC from Feld is going to make you feel better.
I think I might be busy that day. I might be shampooing the cat.
I was willing for that.
What was the next question?
Your favourite Feld game?
It's Marrakech, and I've gone on record of saying this a few times in the last few weeks. It used to be Trajan, but the first time I played Marrakech was on Tabletop Simulator about a year and a half ago, and I played it and absolutely loved it. So I fell in love with it straight away. But playing a game the first time, there's no way I can say this is now my number one favourite game, because just one time. So anyway, a year went by. And then the physical copy arrived, and I played it another 2 or 3 times. And after the second time of playing it, I was like, yeah. So Marrakech currently is my number one favourite Stefan Feld game.
I do have a favourite Feld. Granted, it's the only Feld I like, but I don't know.
The only Feld that you like?
I don't know. I can give some respect to Amerigo, but I did say after a while, and that was mostly because of the Cube Tower. But pretty much every other Feld, no.
Okay.
But Cocobelli, I can like. But then the thing is, that doesn't even feel like a Feld.
No, it doesn't.
Go figure. So go figure.
Yeah.
You know, so I've tried. I've at least tried the games. None of the city ones. None of his new 4 city ones, and not Bonfire. but that was a fail, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say, but I swear I've tried pretty much most of even some of his older stuff, and some of the ones I tried. Merlin.
Yeah, Merlin.
Nope, didn't
Loved
like
it.
that one.
Brilliant game.
Nope. It's like, hey, randomness and dryness all in one. It's like, great. What else has he done?
Watch me getting my Vita selfie and signed on Mars copy.
Yeah. Were you allowed to mention the other one
Which other one?
from the premiere in on the first night?
Vienna and Cuzco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
They've been announced.
All right, fine.
Vienna and Cuzco have been announced a while ago. I thought
I sat learning the rules and unboxing your Heat and Splendor Duel while you were playing
That
Vienna.
was
I
it.
still didn't understand the first thing you were doing in that game.
Yeah, Vienna was good. I enjoyed Vienna. I thought Queen Games were announcing number 7 and number 8 in the series over the weekend, but I haven't really been on social media very much, so I don't know. So if anybody knows what Games 7 and Games 8 are in the Stefan Feld City Collection, and Queen Games have announced it, let me know, because I don't even know. Or do I know? No, I think I do know. I think I've been told.
You probably
I've forgotten. Yeah. I've been told.
You were too busy being starstruck by Stefan.
Not to tell anybody, but no, I think I was told a couple of months ago. But I have forgotten. I've genuinely forgotten what they are. So
I can't remember. You
Aquasphere,
mentioned Aquasphere. That was bleh.
Aquasphere is an odd game.
I mean, the thing is, I got suckered into that one because I think this was before I realised that Feld literally couldn't do theme or something. So I
Right.
thought, well, this is interesting, submarine base and weird like octopus and stuff. And oh wait, it's like take 5 minutes to think.
Christoph is asking, any news from Fantasy Flight? Well, Fantasy Flight have changed a lot.
I was gonna say they're pretty much just LCGs and miniature collectible stuff now.
Well, the miniatures has gone to Atomic Mass Games.
Oh yeah, true. They're not doing
So,
that. It's pretty much just LCGs, yeah. Because they don't really do any major. Well, unless they're rehashing old themes and sticking out. I mean, like I said, as much as I've still got Twilight Inscription on my shelf there, it's a roll and write of something they've already had.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they've got anything in mind that's a new property.
Yeah. I mean, Fantasy Flight, for those people who don't know, it was Christian Peterson who formed Fantasy Flight, and then Fantasy Flight merged into Asmodee, but Christian Peterson then became the head of Asmodee North America. So it wasn't just that Asmodee bought Fantasy Flight. It's like there was definitely some kind of merger, and then Christian was in charge of Asmodee North America. Then Christian stood down, but then also a lot of other very key people, Corey Knizia, for example, one of the main games designers there, he's moved away from Fantasy Flight. So Fantasy Flight Games has had a fairly major change over the last few years.
It's culture, because I mean it is mainly
everything about it.
LCGs and a bit of Arkham Horror. But
Yeah.
I mean, I miss Fantasy Flight of old, because I mean Mission Red Flag, Chaos in the Old World, Forbidden Stars, Cosmic Encounter, the original Civilization game, XCOM, Citadels. You know all the I miss the old FFG.
Yeah, so I don't quite know. I mean, Twilight Inscription is FFG, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't quite know where they're going as a company, but they are still making good stuff.
But then like I say, Twilight Inscription is like, right, we need a roll and write. Oh, let's plaster TI4 on it or something.
Right, okay.
And the only other thing they've released was the expansion to Outer Rim, and that took them forever. So, in terms of something brand new.
Yeah.
But the problem is, every time they have tried something brand new in recent years, it's usually gone downhill.
Right. Okay.
Because they tried Witcher and that went badly. I can't remember what else.
Was that theirs?
I think The Witcher was. Yes, no, The Witcher was, because I think Fantasy Flight did The Witcher, but Ignacy designed it.
Right. We have what games 7 and 8 are in the City Collection. Can you read that?
Paplet, Tour, and Nassau. I mean, I've heard of Nassau, and I probably haven't pronounced that right, but what's that first city? I've not even heard of that one.
No idea whatsoever.
I mean, I keep saying, firstly, make games that you can pronounce, and secondly, if you're going to make it after a city name, tell me where the city is. But
yeah, no, I don't know that.
So this is another, what, this is 7 and 8 Feld.
7 and 8. 7 and 8 in the City Collection.
So Feld is basically trying to become Knizia now, is he? Like
10
games a year, like bring them out or something, because how long because weren't those other city games brought out at the same time?
Only because there were problems with production of games 1 and 2 that they've ended up delivering 1, 2, 3, 4 together.
All right, fine.
So Nassau is a small city in Germany. Yep.
Yeah, that one.
What about the first one?
Yeah,
neither of us have heard of because we're stupid English people and we don't know much about it.
Paplet. I'm pretty sure that's not a common city game.
Ancient City from India. Thank you, Miguel.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he did Marrakech, so I guess he's going in that area of the country, sort of Middle East and beyond.
Yeah. But as for what games they are re-implementing or whether they are new games, who knows?
With Queen and that.
I mean, so far we've had 6 in the City Collection.
Oh yeah.
4 have been out, 2 are coming out soon. But out of those 6, only 1 of them is new.
Yeah.
The other 5 are re-implementations of older Stefan Feld games.
And all of them, Paul was going on record and saying I won't like any of them.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I was going to say you were pretty adamant when I said is there any one of them that's worth at least trying? It's like nope.
Oh, I mean, I would say they're all worth trying, but that's because I like them and I like the style of them.
What is it about Marrakech that you love that much? Why does that one stand out?
Sometimes I'm not able to put into words what I think about it. I just played the game and it's the mechanisms. I'm no interest in the theme of Marrakech whatsoever.
Which are?
What, the themes?
No, the mechanism.
The mechanism.
Like I care about the themes of it.
So essentially the mechanism, there's 3 rounds. In each round you have these 12 caches that are different colours. And each round you choose 3 of them secretly,
right?
Put them into your hand. Everybody reveals them, and then those caches all become part of a pool, which are then drafted from.
Right.
So you might choose the ones that you put in, but you might choose other people's ones or everything else.
Right.
But you have a number of different actions on your player board to perform, but the 3 that you choose are the 3 actions that you're performing. So there's a clever sort of mix between the actions you're doing and the caches that you draft, and it's a number of mini games. Like
right.
Trajan.
I was going to say you love Trajan.
I love Trajan, and it's like this.
Is that how you pronounce it? Trajan.
Trajan.
Oh, right. I thought it was just Trajan, but
Trajan. Yeah.
Right, this is the Trajan.
The
first time I've heard it pronounced like that.
I didn't say that.
Trajan.
So yeah, there's lots of little mini games, but it all goes nicely together, and yeah, I just really like it. The new bit with the palace and the mosque moving up the tracks in the middle, that's quite cool. That's a new little mini game that I've not seen done before.
So it's like Feld. It's like Stefan was trying to do was it Feld's decathlon or whatever, like the Knizia one.
I think there's only going to be 8.
Right.
I think there's 8 in the City Collection.
Oh, I thought you meant 8 mini games in the game.
No. I might be wrong. I mean, if Queen Games, if it works out and they're all successful and they're popular, I can't see why he wouldn't do another 2 and make it 10.
Tracks games, yeah.
Trojan is pronounced different as this is the Latin name.
But not in Russian railroads, right?
Oh, right. It's almost like a tracks game. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah, not literal tracks.
No, not little tracks.
But just like you say, mini games and more tracks.
The J's pronounced it.
Although, I mean, horrible guilds can give you a run for your money about random track games. That great. I mean, that's the thing, because people are saying, "Oh, what's the favourite thing you've played?" Like there, and it's like, well, I mean, the only game I played that was something I was desperate to play was War of the Ring. So I knew I was going to have at least some liking to that.
You like that?
Which I like that. I played the proper version of Geisha's Road, which I loved. I loved Geisha's Road beforehand. It's just the changes they made to it are now even better.
Okay.
And playing that with a designer was good fun. But all the rest of the games were on my maybe list. I'll try. So unless any of them blew me out of the water, they were always going to probably likely be fine or meh or disappointing.
Yeah.
So you've got like charming of My Shelfie, then you've got meh for like Evergreen, and then you've got disappointing of Great Split and Astra.
I was just about to say, let's just spend a minute asking Luke what games he played at Essen that you didn't like.
Astra I didn't like.
Okay, so this is the new game from Mindclash Games. I don't know much about it other than
Astra and Great Split were the 2 most disappointing ones.
So tell us about Astra then, because Astra, new game from Mindclash Games. Obviously Mindclash Games do great games. But this
case in point,
which he's got loads of, but this one didn't tick the boxes for you.
Nah, I mean I got nothing against doing a simplistic one. That was fine, but you're basically just doing join the dots of constellations on cards, but it still takes a while. I mean, it's 20 minutes per player, so we couldn't even finish the game in a 1 hour session. We would probably taken a good 90 minutes, 2 hours to finish this of just joining dots and cards repeatedly. Okay. There's no crescendo, and a lot of the time you just feel like turn order screws you over. Like 3 people concentrate on the same card, finish it off, and you don't get a chance to even act on the card because it's just already finished by the time it gets back round to you.
Okay.
So it was okay, but it just felt pretty bland. Right. Like from a company who makes very immersive, dramatic games, they don't have to be super complex. But even Septima is probably going to be midweight. That at least sounds like a cool theme, and hopefully we'll have something to it. But Astra. I mean, there is no theme really in Astra at all. It is just join the dot dry erase. So
I have a copy of Astra on its way to me after Essen. I will try it. It will be available for Gridcon if people want to borrow it. It'll be in the library. I'm keen to know what you think about it. Let me know if you're watching this video and you have Astra or you've played Astra. Let us know what you think.
Some people have got it there. Yeah, great. Okay. People are saying Great Split is good. I mean, it's not this presentation I have a problem with. I mean, okay, it's just a whiteboard with a bunch of tracks.
So we're moving on. So Astra gone.
Yeah,
next game.
Astra gone.
It's called The Great Split.
Yeah, which to be fair, I didn't even know existed before I went to Essen. It just pretty much appeared in people's bags, and it's like, oh, I thought you were just doing Evergreen. All right, fine, let's try Great Split.
So who's this by?
Horrible Guilds.
Horrible Guild. Right.
Yeah.
And why is it called The Great Split?
Because the cover looks like the sort of thing from like The Great Gatsby or something. It's you're amassing wealth, whatever. It's no theme in it, but it's basically get the most money. But the cover looks like the sort of side-on thing or something, like the recent Great Gatsby film with DiCaprio in it or something. So it's got that kind of image on it. And to be fair, the cover is probably the nicest looking bit in the game. But part of it is great. It's I split you choose down to a T. You've got a bunch of cards with various different wealth things like diamonds, money, or whatever, and all these do is level up tracks. But the idea is that you've got a little wallet with a splitter card. You have so many cards you've got to pick it around. Here, it'll only stand up so well on the back of FizzGig. But you choose what cards you want to split.
Yeah.
Some are going to your left, some are going to your right. Okay. All right, and you're going to also receive an offer from your right anyway. So you're passing it to your left, and sorry, you pass the wallet to your left, you get one. From your right.
One from the right. Okay.
Yeah. But so your person on your left is going to pass you back part of the offer that they didn't want.
Right.
And you're going to choose the half of the offer you want from the person on your right. You combine the lot together, play all the cards, and they level up your various tracks, which score in various mini-game ways.
Right.
But that's literally all you're doing.
Okay.
The I split you choose is a fun mechanic, but all you are doing with that is leveling up a bunch of tracks.
Right.
And so each game, you're pretty much just going to decide, right, I'll level up the diamonds track. So I score the lowest ×2 or whatever. Okay, this time I'll do the arch track. Right, I need to overtake this marker as it goes through the game to get the most points. Right. It's like the goal of the game is bland as hell.
Right.
But the I split you choose is fun. But so then if I'm going to do that, why not just play New York Slice?
A nice mechanism, but it lacked substance beyond that.
It is just, the mechanism's fun, but and not to mention you could easily have a group that gets angry with this game because you're obviously giving the offer to somebody expecting them to choose one side and you take the other.
Right.
Because to you it's logical and they don't.
Okay. So that's The Great Split by Horrible Guild. Thumbs down from Luke. Again, if you've played the game, let us know what you think. Is Luke missing something? Is it a good game or
War of the Ring and Geishas Road definitely thumbs up.
Okay.
What was in the middle? Probably Evergreen was okay.
Evergreen, you came back from Evergreen and said to me, I don't know why they're not being sued because this game is almost identical to Photosynthesis.
Not realising it was the same designer.
Oh, it's the same designer, is it?
But you told me that, didn't you?
No.
Somebody told me it was the same designer for Photosynthesis did.
I didn't tell you that.
Evergreen. Well, somebody did, and if that's true, that explains why the mechanisms of
He's done
Photosynthesis
exactly the same theme
ripped.
of a game, but with a different publisher and a different
but with the same like trees level up this way and the sunlight gives you points this way or something. And I thought this is so similar in this respect. And it's like if it's the same guy, fine.
But other than the similarity to Photosynthesis, the game was meh.
The game's okay. You put a bunch of little trees on a globe map. The card system's cool. The cards dictate where you can do your actions and also how many points each biome's worth at the end of the game. So it's all right.
Yeah.
The main thing that probably hurt it more was the fact that the person who was teaching us sucked. Like, 2 rounds, we were only playing 3 rounds in a 4-round game, and 2 rounds of those 3, I still didn't know what the goal of the game was.
Right.
Like, I'm doing these card things and I'm putting these trees out. What is this aiming for? It's like, yes, I get the mechanisms, they're dirt simple, but why am I putting twigs here? Why would building trees in this fashion be good? It's like, none of this was explained. In contrast to the War of the Ring demo, where completely understood it after 1 round of play, and that's for a fairly complexly card game. Yes, it was the same designer, so that's why.
Same designer. I get as annoyed as you sound when I come away from a demo having a terrible demo, wait a minute, we were taught completely wrong. I've not had a demo of a game at Essen for 3 years now.
Yeah.
So I haven't had that experience.
Not everybody has that. I mean, you get some good teachers and you get some really bad ones.
Yeah. The guy teaching Spirit Island today at the Greater Than Games booth was fantastic. So but no, and I just realised I might be purposely.
The one yesterday doing Sentinels was better though.
There might be a part of me that is purposely avoiding sitting down to get a demo of a game at Essen. Because I've had so many bad experiences. I don't want that anymore.
You'd be getting like eye twitches or something, like just like as soon as they make a mistake or do something that you don't
you don't realise it. It's only afterwards when you think this game's not quite right. I mean, there's a bad teach where clearly the person doesn't really know what they're talking about. That's obvious. But when they seem like they know what they're talking about, and then you go away afterwards and you read the rules and you're like, wait a minute, we were taught a completely different game. What's going on here?
It might have been better with like more plays than that. And I think the only one else I can remember was probably My Shelfie, which was getting a fair amount of people playing. It's charming.
You said it was a light game, a family game that's a bit like Connect 4.
It's Advanced Connect 4. You grab the tiles off the grid. There's some restrictions how you can grab them. You've got to put them in a column, and you've got a bit like Role Player. You've got like get these colours in these segments or do some public objectives and get points. Right. So there's no real theme to it. It's just, okay, this is cute. You've got a little shelf and it's Connect 4 basically, but you don't really care what the opponents are doing, so you're pretty much just doing your own little solitaire puzzle. So,
I was due to pick up a copy of My Shelfie and I forgot.
It's fine. It'll kill 30 minutes for a family.
I'm friends with Matthew Dunstan and I like to support what he does. But saying that, it doesn't sound like it's in my wheelhouse. It sounds like it's a much lighter affair from Cranio, who are known for doing, Golem last year, massively popular, and lots of other games that are big.
I actually couldn't believe it was Cranio.
Right. Okay.
Like this seemed like a game that should have been blue orange.
Blue orange or yellow or something like that.
Yellow could have worked. I mean, I could have seen blue orange do this. Yeah. Because blue orange could have done, the plastic thing fine. They would have probably done cutesy artwork for the tiles and probably made better quality ones, because Cranio is not great on that department. But then still release the same game, and because that's the thing, that the color palette of My Shelfie looks like Cranio's other games, which generally is quite muted.
Okay.
You look at Barrage and Newton, they are very muted colours.
Golem, all very
and it's
sort
like,
of
but My Shelfie is not a game that should be muted colours. It should be bright and flamboyant and in your face.
Yeah.
I look at this cat and I go, it's cute. The cat should have googly eyes or something. Or it should look like something out of Calico.
Right. Okay.
Not be just a titchy little thing and the book shouldn't just be random books on the shelf. They should have like weird titles or have like 20 bookmarks sticking out of it. Go with the humor of it. But for Cranio, it just seems like such a weird one.
Just before we move on, quick thank you to Martin for the super chat. Thank you very much for that. All of my advertising revenue goes to charity, and that includes the super chat money as well. So much appreciated. Thank you very much for that. What?
But drink.
No, he said the welcome drinks are on me.
Yeah.
Well, that's when we go and see him.
Oh, right. When's that?
I don't know. People keep saying what? Rainforest was nice, good looking game.
I'm thirsty.
Rainforest? I don't know Rainforest.
No, we didn't play Flow War. No.
Didn't play Flow War, but I did email them and asked if it's possible to get a review copy, because when I found out on the live stream that we did before Essen that Flow War is by the same designers as Red Cathedral, and looking at the game, I was immediately interested. I didn't get a reply from them. I mean, why I didn't get a reply from them when I emailed them on the Sunday before Essen. So I'm going to, basically, I spoke to them at the booth, they'd sold out, and they said, send us another email afterwards, because we've probably lost that one. And no, that is high on, that is almost...
That shot up for you the second you heard that.
Yeah, it's almost number one on my list of games that I didn't come back from Essen with that I would have wanted to.
It looks gorgeous, and that was what was appealing to me. It was a slightly different theme, and it looked gorgeous. You mentioned the designers, and I like Red Cathedral fine, but the AP part of it just put me off. I mean, this a 60-minute game was taking 2 hours. I was getting a bit annoyed with it, but I liked the game fine. So knowing it was those two designers didn't raise it or lower for me. The main problem I had was I didn't want to bank €55 on a complete gamble,
Right.
especially from a publisher I'd never heard of,
Right.
from Genio or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was a new publisher.
yeah.
I think it was a new publisher. I don't know.
And I thought, like, okay, well, why don't I get into a demo? But every time I walked past there, all I saw was the girl on the desk doing the retail and the game being played by people.
Yes.
So it's like, no, I am not sitting down in a demo to read your midweight game from your rulebook.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. Small booth, only a few people there. Bruno's here. Hi, Bruno. Good to see you again today. He said he had a demo of Atiwa that was horrible.
I did, as I said, I didn't do a demo.
But still bought the game because you wanted to try it for real at the end. It's a good game.
Well, that's the thing. I have bought Atiwa, well, case in point.
That's what the bat's from. So you've got a copy of Atiwa. I've got a copy of Atiwa.
Yeah, it's Uri Rosenberg. I'm going to try a game
We'll
if it's
try
got... Well, actually saying that, I didn't try Applejack. I did find out what it was and thought, okay, this probably is passable or something. Like, it'll be fine, but it's never going to be...
I heard really mixed things about Applejack.
It's not going to be anything that blows you out of the water, really. I mean, it's another tile-laying game with a little bit of a twist and it looks nice. That's about it, really. But I mean, I was going to play it.
Meeple Pete says, there was a new map for Barrow. So I had a chat with somebody from Cranio on the Wednesday, and I basically said, I'll come back at some point of the weekend, because I wanted to see Simone Luciani, just to say hi to him. So I said, look, I'm going to come back over the weekend, and I'll pick up my copy of My Shelfie, and if I can grab the Barrage map, and the Newton expansion, and then forgot to go back. So I need to message Cranio and say, really sorry, I forgot to come and see you. Any chance I can have the stuff?
Well, the map, you've just reminded me, actually, I think the second purchase I made was the Ark Nova maps.
Yeah, I didn't pick up the Ark Nova maps. I didn't know where they were for sale.
They were at the Engel, whatever it's, what they call it?
Fleur.
Yeah, Fleur and Spieler one, because I went by there thinking, oh great, what are people going to queue for now? And it's like, oh, there's nothing new in there. But then I saw it had the Ark Nova maps in both languages, and it was like €5 for the pair. And it's just like, we get it in the UK, and it costs like nearly 10, 12 quid to get one of them, or to get two of them or something. It's like, wait, €5 for the pair? Gimme? It's like, yeah.
Christoph's asking, did you get the expansion for Meadow?
Not yet.
Is that a game you like?
I bought it, liked it, sold it after a point, but then got slight seller's regret and recently bought it back.
Okay.
I think partially just because the artwork is that beautiful, but also I think the expansion, from what the sounded like, helped.
Right.
But I thought, like, this is good enough to have in the collection. I don't know why I've sold it originally.
Okay.
But I spoke to Joanna, lovely lady, but the expansion she couldn't give me at the time, but she is sending it. Well, I think I just got to ping her an email afterwards, and she will send it at some point after. So yeah, they'll be on the base game on downstream.
Right.
It looks cool. I mean,
Klaus has just finished a solo game of Ark Nova with the new maps. There you go. We've only just got home.
I've heard. I mean, I've heard some mixed feelings on the Ark Nova maps, but at the end of the day, I want to try them out. It's 2 Ark Nova maps. Of course, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, would I have gone goo goo gaga if they had like a prototype copy of Aquarius there? Yes, but sadly not.
Peter's asking, will there be a way to reset the campaign tree advent calendar thingy? So
I have no idea what that is.
Yes,
You tell me that.
So, in Gloomhaven, you got a big sheet of stickers with all of the scenarios on.
Yeah.
And when the book said unlock scenario 2, you took the sticker for number 2 and you stuck it on a map.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's been done as an advent calendar. So what you've got is this big advent calendar.
It comes with chocolate.
I hope so. Massive 5-sheet advent calendar with all of the numbers all over it.
Right.
And as a flowchart. So the scenario flowchart is done as a thing, and they're all openable windows. So when it says unlock scenario 2, you actually open up the advent calendar window for scenario 2.
That sounds like it's going to be like really bulky in a sense, because.
Well, no, it's only double white card, and then in there,
how big's this box?
in there is the sticker for scenario 2, which you then stick on the map. But the advantage is it's got the flowchart right in front of you.
Right, I was going to say.
Which a lot of people, including me, found really useful to keep track of where you were. And the question is it resettable? No, it's not resettable because these are normal stickers. But the company that made the removable stickers for Gloomhaven, I believe, and contact Sinister Fish Games to just check with them, but they are producing a removable sticker set in advent calendar form.
Right.
So in other words, the same thing, but with removable stickers instead of stick once stickers. So
our stickers are truly removable.
So I've been told.
Until you have no nails and then you try.
That's more of a philosophical question, I think.
Yes.
which is a bit late for that. No, I'm not wearing my hoodie. This isn't a hoodie. It's a fleece. This is my Cephalophore Games
He gets cold.
fleece.
He gets cold. I took a fleece to Essen. I never wore it once because it's like you're walking around the halls and constantly at high speed. How can I possibly be cold?
Essen has been cold in the past, but it was really nice. There was 3 days where the walk to the halls was nice. Saturday was a bit miserable in terms of it was grey and there was a bit of rain in the air, but actually it was still relatively warm. Didn't need a fleece on at all, really.
Nope. I just need my flamboyant orange shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know why Grading Games go with orange, but yeah.
This is the one that Vicky steals when she goes to the gym.
Right.
So it's just really comfortable. And it's not
after
too
delousing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too heavy. What's the barrage map like? Says Leslie. Don't know. I've no idea. I just knew that there was a new barrage map, and I went, oh, because barrage is a game that I played a number of times when it came out, and then we stopped playing it, and didn't play it for ages, and now it's on Board Game Arena, so I've started playing it again and realised this is actually a really good game. So I kind of want to get back into playing it a bit more, and the fact that there's a new map always shakes things up a bit. So, yeah, give us magnets, not stickers.
I don't know.
It's an idea, I guess you could. Probably a little bit more expensive.
I'm not a massive fan of stickers anyway, but you're playing a legacy game, it's kind of part and parcel, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as I say, you're playing this. I mean, it says, is it resettable? This is a Haven game. You're playing it for life. You're playing it for life. There is no resetting it.
You also don't, in my opinion, certainly sticking the scenario stickers on the board, you don't need to reset them. The fact that
aren't you supposed to create your own world and then go from that point later on anyway, or something?
No,
I forget. I only got like 5 or 6 things in Blue Haven, so it's not like I saw the end of it. But
the bit which you would want the removable stickers for in Frosthaven is the city. Sorry, the outpost of Frosthaven that you're building up. If you wanted to play the campaign again or give it to other people to play the campaign, you would need to. Yeah. That's the bit that would need to be reset. The actual stickers for the scenarios on the board, I personally don't believe you need to take them off. You just need to say, okay, there's the stickers on the board, but on a piece of paper you write down, okay, we can only do 1.
Right.
Once we've done 1, we can do 2 or 3. Once we've done 2 or 3, 3 leads to 4.
You could find a workaround.
Yeah, there's a workaround for it.
But I mean, play a new campaign. I mean, how long is it going to take you to do the first one?
Some people do. Some people do, or they play it with multiple groups or whatever.
Multiple groups, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Solo in a group, maybe.
If you've got any other questions for us, we don't really have much else to. Well, I don't have much else to say.
I'm trying to think of what else was brought back. I mean, yeah, Hamlet got brought down. Missed out on Wolves. Brought back Hamlet. Brought back Ottawa.
I can tell you what I know about Hamlet so far.
Brought some little card game called Vegetable Stock on recommendation from one of the people at Taiwan Board Design.
Yeah.
Who knows what I do.
So for those people who have bought Hamlet and played it recently, I want to know what
what is this rule?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But all I can tell you is that Dan, who's a good friend of mine from the Detective Society, he was there at Essen. He really liked the look of Hamlet as well, so he bought Hamlet. He played it on the Friday night.
Yeah.
Then he also played it again on the Saturday night, and I went to see him and I said, how's it going? He said, it's a good game, but we think we found a problem with the game. We've come up with a house rule, and he's been onto Board Game Geek, and the house rule is the same house rule as other people are proposing, because apparently there's a problem with the game, and lots of people on the Geek are talking about how to fix it.
Yeah, I need to know what
that's all I know what it is.
Because that's going to be interesting. I mean, or do I want to know what it is? Because it'd be interesting if I try and learn the game from scratch and get to the same conclusion.
I would say no. Now, I'm doing a sponsored playthrough of Hamlet. So in a couple of weeks' time, I will be covering Hamlet on the channel, and it will be a sponsored playthrough. And we will be using the rules as printed.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, I will go away and I'll think, if I get into a situation in that game where I think something doesn't feel quite right, I will then go and look stuff up.
Oh, well, it'd be interesting to know, but maybe I should get Hamlet to the table. The thing is, I didn't get Hamlet to review, so that's my personal review that I want to do on that one. But just because a lot of people don't have it, or it's the Kickstarter hotness, but yeah, just because of that, what you told me now makes me want to try the game to see if I come to the same conclusion.
See, if it was just Dan who had played it,
yeah, if it was just
and
fine,
said,
but you said
I
think
think there's something wrong with it. My initial reaction is you might have missed a rule in the rule book.
But then what's curious is that this thing must have. I mean, didn't this thing get have a TTS mod or various amount playing when it was Kickstarter? So I'm sure nobody would have spotted.
And I don't want to discredit the game because I'm just going off what somebody's told me.
Yeah, I'll find out.
You'll find out. Vicky's asking me how many Jaffa cakes did I eat while I was away.
Well, XTV says, do we have a nice chocolate from I can't pronounce his name, the Jamudu or the South African.
Oh right, yeah, I've still got mine. You
still got yours. I ate mine literally the evening you gave it to me because I was hungry and I needed dessert. So it's that was fine. Yeah. That was nice chocolate. How many Jaffa cakes did you eat while away? 3.
So I've probably eaten about 2 or 3 because I took all of the Jaffa cakes with me.
Yeah.
But I used them. I gave a couple of packs away to various people. But I was using them in demos as well.
Yeah.
So I actually integrated the Jaffa cakes into a part of the scenario that I was playing. In that there was a chest in one of the rooms, and when the players opened the chest, I got out the Jaffa cakes and said, "Inside you find a pack of Jaffa cakes," and then I passed the Jaffa cakes around the table.
Yeah.
I always try and incorporate them into the demo somehow.
Yeah, and I had 3 because I got bored waiting for Paul.
Oh right, that's where they went. That's where they went. I see.
No, that was why the box was open.
I have eaten probably.
I'm like, God, he's taking forever, and I'm freaking hungry. There's a Jaffa cake.
I've probably eaten about 5 or 6 Stroop waffles though, and I do have. I
didn't
brought some of those.
I didn't eat a single Stroop waffle. I had a bits of Polish chocolate from various publishers that sort of had it to hand. We had those. You keep those chocolate banana things away.
Oh yeah, the chocolate bananas.
Chocolate banana is like weird aftertaste of those. Unexpected welcome finds.
No, there's a message just above that.
Have you seen anything regarding the Frosthaven helper app?
Frosthaven helper app. No, nothing about that.
No, that's unexpected welcome finds. Not really, because as I say, everything I played, like proper demo wise.
You planned to play, hadn't you?
I bought and got. I either bought or got a review copy of everything I planned to want to play anyway. So this question is relevant in a few months' time. In terms of what I actually bothered to sit in a demo, this was I don't know if I want to buy this or not or review it. So let me check it out. And unless any of those were going to blow my head off, that and Geisha's Road doesn't count because I already liked it beforehand, then. I mean, I suppose we did play World Exchangers, the Empress 4-1 economic game. That was interesting. I mean, I need to play it more. But then you also you made us play. Well, I did enjoy Heat. Heat was good, although I am a bit skeptical about its length. Mark keeps saying you can play it quick. I don't believe it can be played quick, but the rest of the game's good. Splendor Duel was amazing. I do like that.
You did like it?
Yes.
Okay.
That not Seven Wonders Duel level, but it's certainly okay. If I'm going to play 2-player, I'm going to play that one.
When they, because I was involved professionally in Splendor Duel, in that they told me that it was coming out. They asked me to work on the rulebook for it, and they said, "Don't tell anybody, it's a secret."
Yeah.
So I didn't, and then I worked on the rulebook, and then after I finished working on the rulebook was done. They then said, "Yeah, we've delayed this by 3 or 4 months. You've got to keep it secret for another 3 or 4 months." And I'm like, oh. And then eventually they announced it. I didn't realise it was going to be as big a hit and as popular and be talked about. And it has been.
I am surprised on that because as much as Bruno Cafala touching anything 2 players will generally be gold dust.
Right.
The amount of times I have to defend Splendor and say it's still a good engine builder game from everybody who says Splendor's garbage or outdated or something. And then suddenly they make the 2-player version. Now everybody's suddenly back on the Splendor love. And it's like, I don't know, when did you flip 180 on this? Come on. That would have worked out there. So no, I mean, welcome finds, not really.
Well, going back to that question, do we have any unexpected welcome finds?
No.
And as I've mentioned in some of my other video logs, my Essen journey that I make each year is not what it was 15 years ago. So 15 years ago, I'd come to Essen just as a punter, and we would have a few games that we wanted to try, but we'd spend a lot of time walking around the halls, and if we saw something that we didn't know about and looked interesting, we'd sit down and we'd get it played.
We haven't got the time now.
Yeah, so that's not where I am now with Essen. The first Essen situation.
Well, the first Essen trip I made, I didn't go there with the intent of getting review copies because I wasn't big enough at the time.
Yeah.
So even now, but the thing was that I literally just went there as a punter and I bought everything in the kitchen sink because I was just the kid in the candy store. That's the time when you asked me, "Oh, did I find any unexpected finds?" But now, because you've got to buy and review it later, and you're only playing a few games, finding a hidden gem, especially when, to be honest, I don't think the caliber of games this year was well, again, we haven't played some of those big
No.
ones, but I don't think it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
I can't think of a game that was like the single big hit of Essen. Like Ark Nova last year was the big hit of Essen 21. I didn't think there was a game that was the big hit of 22.
No, there was nothing that was as you say of the same sort of level of interest.
How's going back up there? So no issue on the preview. So some people are just saying that they can't see a problem with Hamlet just yet.
Okay.
Thoughts on Revive, Discordia, or Sabika? We already know Paul's thoughts on Sabika.
From Denver.
From what?
The Denver. That's the guy who gave us the chocolates.
Oh, sorry.
I think I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the spam bots have arrived. Oh yeah, because I'm doing a live stream from my iPad. So apologies for the spam bots. Chrissy will probably go in and be.
Yeah, Chrissy, get on the case.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about that, I'm afraid.
Did you see the massive pirate game Captain's Log? No.
Oh, somebody talked about Captain's Log. So somebody yesterday was telling me about Captain's Log, but I can't remember what they told me about it at all.
I might have looked at. Maybe I just might have glossed over it. Steal the jammy bits and put them back. No. If I was gonna eat Jaffa cakes, I'm gonna eat the whole Jaffa cake.
You're gonna eat the Jaffa, yeah. Did you see them? Oh, that was the Captain's Log. Yeah, massive pirate game. I think. Yeah.
How's my copy of Lacrimosa? Well, it's still in shrink wrap in the bag. I'll let you know after I've played it.
All somebody said about Captain's Log is that they played it and they liked it, and it wasn't worth $100 or something like that.
What was that? Sorry.
Captain's Log. They played it, they liked it, but it wasn't worth $100.
I had the same thing. Actually, the other one I played, Tawaniku.
Or €100, whatever.
Yeah, it was like 60-something euro for the basic game. If you wanted the cool wooden tokens that came with it from sit-down games, it would have forked you about €100. And I thought, okay, this is a cool little minesweeper deduction game, effectively. It's not €100.
Right.
I mean, I was hesitant to pay 70 for Lacrimosa.
Right.
I didn't want to pay 80 for Revive. 100, to get one that sort of looks decent. Although, now that you mention, rewinding back to that, what games you want to get played ASAP.
Yeah.
If we're going to go more realistic as to which game I'm likely to get played pretty soon, Precognition. Because I did get that one as a review copy from Ludonaut. That should be relatively easy to get played, and I'm still curious about this whole dual card select thing I mentioned in the preview.
Yeah.
So I'm still quite keen to get that one played.
Bruno's asking, have I tried Unconscious Mind? I have not tried Unconscious Mind. I do have a date in the calendar when Johnny Catan is going to teach me how to play, and it's the day before I'm going to be filming the video, which is going to be used for the Kickstarter.
If I don't like Lacrimosa, I will try to remember that Sean wants it and sign it. There you go. That's what he wants it. I mean, that'll devalue the game, but fine.
Yeah.
Remove the spam, but fine.
What's Meeple Pete saying? Has anybody looked at Corrupt Parliament from BG? I've never heard of it.
Nope.
So we haven't.
You put the word Parliament. You put the word Parliament in there, which A, doesn't scream a game I'm going to get into the theme, and B, just brings up bad memories for anyone who lives in Britain. So that's not going to help as much. Only played Ark Nova first time tonight. Hexy Beast. Well, you should have got on the case.
He only played it.
Well, he's never been around when I've been teaching it.
Right. Okay.
That's why he needs to come to Gridcon, because then I'll teach all the good games. Ask Mark.
So Precognition. I've got my own thoughts on it from the way it was described to me.
Yeah,
you've not had a chance to play it.
I've not had a chance to play it, but I'm excited to play it. And they're claiming it was a huge miss. So who knows? It'll be a sad video if it turns out to be a disappointment.
So Precognition, from the little I know about it, sounds like it does have something new in that you've got some cards, and I give a card to the player to my left and to the player to my right.
I forget the exact details.
And I'm determining the action that you're going to do.
You're basically, like the way you give the cards out is that one of those cards is going to come back to you next turn, so you're trying to sort of plan ahead. But I'd have to play it properly. It's difficult to exactly remember it.
And that for me, I'm not sure whether I like. I mean, I've not played it. I don't know much about it. But the idea that I do an action that the person to my left.
Yeah, I may not have described it exactly accurately. I need to play it and then I'll know exactly how it works. It's just that it only had so much info. Would I have liked to have tried Unconscious Mind? Yes, and I would have certainly loved to have run away with the copy that I bailed you out of. However, had I done that, that wouldn't have made me very popular with Fantasia games.
Because they would have only had one copy.
Yes, I basically had to go fetch it out of the car, bring it up while Paul was disputed elsewhere or something. I can't remember why.
Andre's got a good question. Was there no big hit of Essen because there are so many things out? No.
No, because that was the same in the last
Yeah,
3
the
to 4,
number
5
of
years.
the number of games that were released at Essen this year is probably roughly the same number of games that were released last year.
Yeah.
But Ark Nova was the big buzz
yes.
before Essen last year.
But even then, it was like that.
And
I mean,
then it was the big game afterwards.
Yeah.
So we're not saying there aren't good games that have come out. For all we know, Revive, Lacrimosa, Woodcraft, Flamecraft,
I've got
all of
Woodcraft
those.
as well. Yeah, that's one.
They might all be exceptionally really, really good games, but there isn't
A
an
big
Ark
hit.
Nova game which was
Top 10 BGG.
Yeah. A
where
game. Where is it now in BGG? Is it in the top 10?
It's in the top 10, deservedly so.
And I don't think any of the games that have.
All right. Actually, I'm gonna. I'll retract that. It's in the top 10.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it in the top 10 rather than alongside certain other games I don't think are any good. But yes, I'd be the first person to say no. The BGG top 10 should be popular
You think
gateway games. Not.
You think it's nonsense?
The
It's
BGG rankings. Yeah, it's fourth.
fourth.
That means it's overtaken. Does that mean it's overtaken TI 4 because that was only third or fourth?
Wow.
Because it wasn't. Because isn't it Pandemic? Isn't it Gloomhaven, Pandemic Legacy? I thought it was TI 4 or was it? Oh no, it wasn't Brass Birmingham, was it?
It's probably Brass Birmingham.
Please tell me Ark Nova is above Brass
So
Birmingham.
yeah, so I don't think there are any games released at this year's Essen which will make it into the top 10 of BGG in the next 12
But
months.
nobody was going. It's overtaken TI. Oh no, that means Brass is still third, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Stupid.
Oh,
Brass.
apparently Brass is second.
What?
Do you want to bang your head on the table again?
Yeah. Ow, actually, you're right.
So
stupid Brass.
but so that's not to say that there aren't some great games that have come out this year. I just don't think there was a game which is going to have the impact and the popularity that Ark Nova did. Are you ranting again?
Yes.
You're ranting again.
I'm ranting internally.
But there are people who hate Ark Nova.
Yes, and that's fine.
They're
But
wrong.
Ark Nova is an actual game, not a map pack expansion. Yeah. Do you want to bang your head on the table?
No.
Please do. It'd be
No,
funny.
no.
No.
Any other questions?
You can take your glasses off before
No,
you do it.
it's fine. I respect all games and I like all games.
That's not
No,
the
I
way.
don't.
I was going to say, no, you do not.
I think there is one game in the top 10 that I disagree with being a top 10 game. I can't remember which one it is. It used to be 2 or 3.
I'd probably disagree with most of. Well, the thing is, I'm the person who says that Ticket to Ride should be number 1 because no other game has lasted that long, been that popular, done that much for the hobby. Period. That's the sort of game that deserves a kind of an award of number 1, not just because a bunch of niche gamers find it really popular, i.e. Gloomhaven.
Niche gamers.
Yeah, Gloomhaven's a niche game. Come on.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
but which one do you disagree with?
I can't remember. I'd need to look at the top 10 now. But I remember when I looked about a year ago or 2 years ago, there were at least 2 games in the top 10 that, and it's totally personal opinion, that I didn't feel were top 10 games. Luke's going to look it up now.
Well, I'm going to find out the top 10, yeah.
Meanwhile, did we already comment on Starship Captains? Only that both of us want to play it.
We've got it. I want to play it.
We got it. We want to play it. We're looking forward to it.
I finally know that Peter designed it, and that's right. because at first I didn't twig that it was the same Peter, and it's like, whoops.
When did you find that out? Have I not been going on about that for ages?
But no, I think it was because when I did a preview on the podcast, I said I'm excited to do Starship Captains, and I think at the time I didn't mention it was the same Peter from Tabletop Together Tool because for some reason
Did you know
I
at that time
that
it was him?
I probably just saw the name and didn't recognise it was the same guy.
Okay.
I did. I mean, I knew him as Peter from Tabletop Together too. I didn't know. I didn't know his
Peter
surname.
Hofgaard, yeah, okay, right.
You know, I mean, I don't recognise the names. But okay.
Yeah, Tammy. It's exactly what I was thinking when Luke was talking about Ticket to Ride.
What's that?
About a game that's done more for the hobby than most of the games.
You think Ticket to Ride over Catan? Catan. I mean, Catan has done a lot for the hobby, and I wouldn't be surprised if it could deserve a top 10 spot. But
I think
it's been sort of done to death with a lot of the spin-offs, and I suppose the thing is Catan is not as approachable for
it's
many
not,
as
but
something
what
like
it's
Ticket to
done for the hobby is at least comparable, if not more, than Ticket to
Yeah.
Ride.
Oh, I mean, I could certainly put it. If I was doing a top 10, I could certainly see Catan being in there. I just wouldn't put it above Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
Oh, Gaia Project. No, that
If
shouldn't be in
WizKids
there.
listened to me and released Mage Knight at Essen, you'd have the popular game you're looking for. Yes, absolutely. That's what we need. We need the release of Mage Knight again.
God. Oh, you want to talk niche games? All right. So what have we got here? So we got So Gloomhaven, Brass Birmingham, Pandemic Legacy Season 1, Ark Nova, Terraforming Mars, Gloomhaven Jaws of the Line, or that should be in number 1 because it's the same game. Twilight Imperium 4th Edition, Star Wars Rebellion, Gaia Project, and War of the Rings 2nd Edition.
War of the Rings 2nd Edition.
Yeah, I don't. That should not be in there. I mean, I enjoyed it fine, but that is a niche game to be number 10.
And apologies if you are a huge fan of War of the Rings 2nd Edition,
especially as it's overtaken Spirit Island, which is why Spirit Island's not in the top 10.
Yeah, and I've played War of the Ring once or twice, and yeah, it's a good game, but it's not as good. I don't think it should be in the top 10. I think it should probably be in the top 20 or top 50. But not in the top 10. I don't think they're going to see that.
No, because it's too bright.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the ratings.
You can see the ratings.
You can see the ratings.
Oh, that's your ratings.
Yeah, that's my BGG.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, any you disagree with?
Yeah.
I mean, ignoring the Gloomhaven rating.
4 is, this game is awful. I will never play this game again.
4 is below average. It didn't wee. I like my dungeon crawls to be more intense. I don't like to be able to know what the I don't like to know what my enemies do before they do.
You've clearly never played a game.
It's one flaw with Oathsworn, because Oathsworn you actually flip that card over to say what the enemy's going to do, and it's like I shouldn't know what this big boss is going to do before it does.
You don't think Gloomhaven is intense? You're playing a different game to everybody else.
You taught me. Well, the first time.
Yeah,
I played it,
but I'm
the
saying
other 5 times I played it. Yeah, that was it.
Anyway, we've moved on to...
Can we agree with Ark Nova, though?
No. Ark Nova is not a 10 out of 10 game.
It is.
It's a 9 and a bit, but it's not a 10 out of 10 game.
We can agree Twilight Imperium 4th Edition is a 6, though, can we?
Twilight Imperium 4th Edition, although I'm not a fan and I would never play it again...
Spirit Island,
I would probably rate it a 7.
You would never give Spirit Island a 10, I know that, but
I'd give Spirit Island probably a 9 point...
No decimal nonsense.
No. Spirit Island is worth more than a 9, but I don't think I could give it a 10.
Well, 10's not perfect. There's no such thing as perfect.
Yeah. I'd probably give Spirit Island like a 9.5.
You like Star Wars Rebellion as well, don't you?
So I've only just recently played Star Wars Rebellion. I've only played it once. It was a very good game and I really enjoyed it.
I thought you played it more, but...
No, I've only played it once. And it was a good game.
Yeah, fine. Okay, cool.
Anyway, yeah, we've drifted off onto the top 10
they
games.
They like us to argue.
We're not arguing. I'm just stating. I'm stating the truth about the world.
Oh, it's not argument. It's a dictatorship, is it?
And you're disagreeing.
It's a dictatorship because it's your stream, is it?
Bruno's asking what game is a 10 for me. It's really difficult for me to.
Good question.
Yeah. So if you're saying that anything over a 9 should be a 10.
Yes.
If that's what you're saying.
I don't get the decimal system. If you're going to do decimals, then say your marks out of 20. I mean,
okay, marks out of 20, 19.3.
I mean, I say a 10 out of 10 is not perfect. Perfection. It's not that it doesn't have flaws.
Games that I think are better than 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Lots.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mage Knight for a kick.
Mage Knight Through the Ages. Gloomhaven. No, I'd probably put Gloomhaven at a 9, to be honest.
Okay.
I love it, but I would class it as a 9.
Right.
So
Through the Ages.
So Through the Ages, Mage Knight,
Marrakech.
Spirit Island. Possibly not Marrakech. Possibly Marrakech is a 9. But I could probably find...
That would be an interesting list.
10 games easily.
Because you've never done a top 10 of your personal lot.
No.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What top 10, what are your top 10 games that would actually rate above a 9 or something? That would be something different.
Yeah. I mean, I remember doing a top 10 games according to Patreon supporters, which I then commented on.
Yeah, but you've never done your personal
and
one.
some of those would have been in my top 10.
You need the personal one needs to be live. You go through them, and me and Mark and Mike or whatever like that sit there and roast.
Yeah, I mean, I'd find it. And one of the reasons why I've never done it
is because you don't want that.
I'd find it very difficult to come up with my top 10 games because I probably have, and this is a running joke that I sort of have on the channel, is that I've probably got 30 or 40 games in my top 10.
Well, it's hard to narrow it down. Yeah, tell me about it.
So,
doing the top 100.
So it might be useful at some point for me to do these are the games in my top 10, and the fact that it would be 30 of them or 40 of them. But basically, these are my favourite games.
Yeah, I mean, it gets harder with the top 100 every year now, because I mean, you get into the top 40 and you're in my 10 out of 10.
Well, it's also very difficult to compare through the ages to Just One.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Just One. Absolutely love the game. For me, Just One is possibly a 10 out of 10 game. If not, it's a 9.5 out of 10
If it's
game,
one of those games
right?
you love to pull out and enjoy
Because
every
it
single
is
time you play it.
absolutely brilliant. However, if I was to do my top 10 games of all time,
which it would be,
would Just One be in there?
Well, it depends if you enjoy it that much.
Well, exactly, but that's the thing. There's so many games that I enjoy as much as that there's 30
I
or
mean,
40
objectively,
games.
yeah, Just One is a brilliant game, but I'd probably still be, probably 8? Because, yes, I like to play it, but it's not like I bring it to the club every week, and it's not like every time someone suggests Just One, I'm like, yay, let's play it. I'm like, cool, blimey, we've played that 3 times in the last week.
My
It's
ratings for the game are not... I try and evaluate the game as well.
Yeah.
And I evaluate the game as how good are the mechanisms, how good is like the rulebook, the graphic design, the game as a whole package.
Oh yeah, but that comes into it as well. But obviously your own feelings have got to come. Like, does all that matter in a second? Because I mean, the mechanisms of Just One are pitch perfect in the sense of how it works. But then if I play through like several rounds of Just One and we finished, I don't then suddenly say, right, let's do another set of 13.
Yeah.
When I played Ark Nova, I want to play Ark Nova straight away.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so it's. I mean, it's tricky. But
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
Although someone mentioned earlier, I mean, yeah, Chrissy, no game is a perfect 10. I think Hexy Beast might have mentioned it. Any Lacerda games that would feature would.
Oh, that's a
9.
tricky one. Oh, any Lacerda games that would feature above 9?
Yeah. For you. I mean, I've got.
So on Mars is my favourite one.
2. I don't know. I don't know if. I mean,
don't know.
Kanban and Gallerist are my favourite Lacerdas. I don't know if any of them are. Well, because
Yeah.
Kanban might be a 10, but maybe a 9. Gallerist is probably 9.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They'd be around the 9 mark, maybe a little bit higher than 9.
We're saying Frosthaven is too chill. No, Frosthaven is painted. Frosthaven is white. Might agree with Luke. Might not be 10 for Luke, but 4 is unfair. 4 is not a game with broken design. 4 is below average. 3 would be bad.
So I was having a conversation with a publisher yesterday about ratings on BGG.
Yeah.
Anything under a 7 is a bad game.
It's considered garbage by gamers.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it correct. So, you know, just because, I mean, anything below 7 doesn't get a seal of endorsement from me, fine. That doesn't mean I hate the game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 5 is an average score when you consider 5 is the middle ground between 1 and 10.
7 is an average game.
7's not average. 7's good. That's why it gets
Sorry, 6. 6 is an average game. 7 is a good game. 8 is a really good game.
How does it go?
But anything below a 6 is literally not just getting it.
Awful, really bad, bad, below average, average, above average, good, great, excellent,
super fantastic,
outstanding.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I think that's how it kind of goes. So yeah, you can be rated a 6 and still be, you know, a game I will play. Say 4 doesn't, you know, Gloomhaven doesn't have broken design. Although dice would be nice. How many? There's flipping cards for a modifier and saying, "Oh, look at this unique combat deck." No, just roll dice.
No, I think
Can someone make a GIF of that? That would be brilliant. We love your discussions. Exactly. Yes. See, I would love a monthly or every month video from Paul and Luke, like Paul's monthly Q&A. You can get us both in the same location on a regular basis.
Well, it doesn't need to be the same location.
True, we could just do it.
It's time. I struggle to fit
it's his
in.
time, yeah. I'd put Anachrony, highest scored game, dominant species 9.7.
Yeah, dominant species for me is probably a 9.
Dominant species Marine was a 9 for me. Maybe it will fall to an 8. The normal dominant species was, I think, a 6. I did like it, but I prefer the worker placement of Marine to the planning pre-go-ramming of the original. But then that's just a mechanism difference.
Anyway. A couple of questions before we disappear, because Luke's got work tomorrow and I've got to drive back to Devon tomorrow. Oh, yeah, who's our favourite designer?
Oh, I forgot.
I have a few, and it would be hard for me to.
When I do the top 100, I do put a tally chart of publisher and designer that features more, and always Bruno Kafala ends up on the top.
Okay, interesting.
The majority of games that I've got are either designed or co-designed by him.
Right.
Because, and like I say, even some of the new stuff, I mean, I did Sobek review recently, and that was another 2-player game with him. It's like, this is a great little 2-player, shove it in, and Yamatai, 5 Tribes, 7 Wonders Duel, now Splendor Duel. Did he do? Yeah, he did. He did Mission Red Planet with Fiduti.
Okay.
So he does a lot. He's more commonly in there. Although I do have a very wide range of designers and publishers in my top 100.
Yeah.
A lot of games on their own.
For me, it's Vlad Shvatel, Alexander Pfister, Stefan Feld, and people in that sort of, people who've made lots and lots of games that I like lots and lots of their games.
Oh, isn't that nice?
What?
Luke and Paul are a 10.
Oh.
Well, I'm a 10. He's a 9.7 because he's got to do decimals.
Yeah. No, probably maybe 9.72.
Yeah, so he's got to be finicky with decimal points.
Yeah.
Obsession. Well, we'll find out about that one actually.
Jonas is asking about a comment on Endless Winter. I mean, Luke can give his honest opinion of Endless Winter because he wasn't paid for 18 months to write the rulebook and produce 6 videos.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a retail copy of that to review.
Played it 3 times.
I've played your big copy 3 times to get a taste of it then, and I do like it. I don't like the megalith stuff. I think that's tacked on, but that's a small part, and I usually just ignore it when I play it. I just go for a different strategy, animal cards or stuff like that.
Yeah.
The main issue I've got with it, I like the cards. I like the simplicity of it. It looks gorgeous. Board stuff, theme, great. My biggest issue is the last round because there's, the snowball analogy where it starts rolling and gets bigger and bigger. This is the snowball starts rolling, gets bigger. You get caught in the snowball and roll down with it because by the time you get to the 4th round, you can basically take on Superman.
Okay.
You start off going, well, I can just about get this card. Oh, this card right. I can just get this resource to do this. And by the 4th round, I can achieve everything that everyone else is doing, even though I wasn't focusing on it in the game.
Right. Okay.
And that's a slight problem because it doesn't feel like what I'm doing in the first 3 rounds is necessarily important if I know I can do so much later on.
Right.
And there is a little worry that the best way to start the game is to do cards.
Okay.
Because when you pick up the cards, they go straight to your hand and you
Which
can use
means
them in the
they're
after that.
there.
Which means they're there. And it's like every time I've seen someone do that first, that usually is quite a big acceleration.
Right. Okay.
But that's after 3 plays of what? Like a post, during Kickstarter game or something?
Yeah.
It wasn't, was that final? It wasn't, was it?
Which one?
When we played at Manacles?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
the
final.
final
Well,
copy,
like I say, I got to give more plays. But
Have you named the Atiwa Bat?
No. Although don't tell my friend that that I've got another one as a present for her, but who calls herself Mad Fruit Bat on Instagram. So it's she kind of deserves one of these.
Did I play Lacrimosa? So I've played Lacrimosa. I've done a playthrough of it on the channel. If you want to see that, I did it just the week before Essen. So yeah, playthrough of Lacrimosa is on the channel. I know.
You will get upset.
You've not played Lacrimosa yet, but you do have a copy.
I have a copy, which I was, like I say, €70 was tough to swallow, but I thought, all right, let's go with it because it does. The theme's different, and then the mechanisms from your playthrough did it gives me a bit of a Lisboa vibe with the cards and stuff. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, I want to give this one a try.
Yeah, we all really enjoyed it when we played it
because it looks and like I say, as much as I didn't really gel with Bitoku, it's like this looks like a very different game. So fine, let's give it a try, and it should be pretty good. But no, I have not named the Atiwa Bat. I have no idea what to. I don't know what to be honest. I haven't named any of these mascots. I mean, one's Yoda. That's a trouble, I guess. That's Fizzkig. He already has a name.
Fizzkig already has a name.
Yeah. What would you call him? What would you call the bat? I guess.
Batty.
Really? You want my card, Bessie? Do you like Batty is your name? What's the name of the bat? Was it? Oh, Fledermaus. Yeah.
Fledermaus. German for bats.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's pronounced like Fledermaus or something. Yes, I remember because every time I played cockroach poker, I was like because it's normally Kakerlakenboger in German. For some reason, everybody just goes it's a cockroach, it's a stink bug, it's a Fledermaus. Right. They just keep for some reason calling the bat Fledermaus.
Yeah. Right. So we're going to wrap things up. Content that is coming to the channels soon. This week, I am going to be doing an unboxing video / interview of Frostpunk. So my copy of Frostpunk arrived at my house while I was away. This is the final edition of Frostpunk. They rushed a copy to me from China. That's arrived. I will be doing, as I say, an unboxing / interview. I'm going to be interviewing Jakob from Glass Cannon Unplugged while I'm doing the unboxing. That's coming on Wednesday, I think. I should be filming this month's video log, which is basically a summary of everything that I've done in the last month, which will include Essen. But we'll include the stuff that I've done before Essen. And Friday is going to be a live playthrough of ISS Vanguard. So we're going to be doing a live playthrough of ISS Vanguard, the tutorial mission and the first ship phase on Friday. That's what's coming from me this week. What have you got planned content-wise this week?
I don't know, because at the moment I got the record all.
Right, okay. So it will be pre-recorded videos, and you don't know what you're going to do this week?
I'll be lucky if I can release anything like during this week, because obviously I've got to get it recorded. Although, to be fair, 2 priorities. Firstly, probably an Essen post review, but I'll make that the podcast episode next Sunday,
Right.
so I'll give that a break. I need to hurry up and finish the top 100, otherwise it's going to interfere with other stuff. So that'll probably be my focus, honestly.
Okay.
Because I need to, even the pre-Essen stuff, I still need to play. I still need to play Vanguard. I still need to play.
That's the thing. You mentioned this earlier on, and it is a very important point. Is that Luke got his copy of ISS Vanguard just before Essen.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's not an Essen release. It kind of is an Essen release. Anything that I've received in the last 3 or 4 weeks counts as an Essen release, I think.
Yeah.
So we can't forget just the fact that you didn't bring it home from Essen.
Yeah, it just
doesn't
wasn't.
mean we
It just
shouldn't talk
wasn't
about it.
time for it. I mean, that's the thing, because I've also got to do an Oath Swarm review, although I'm not far off that.
Yeah.
So probably in the next 4 videos that will get released will probably be the Essen podcast review, both of the top 100s to finish that off.
Yeah. And
while I'm playing a bunch of games, and the Oath Swarm review.
Right.
Because
Okay.
I think they're the main ones that are like, they're in progress.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get any small games played, I could probably churn those out pretty good. But like I say, I think really top 100s.
Yeah.
I think
get
that
them
should be,
done.
yeah, exactly. Get them done. Come home tomorrow. Maybe find time to at least get 1 or 2 of them recorded, and then during the week edit and just get them out.
Yeah. Oh, I'll also be doing an unboxing video of Hopla Marcus Remastered and Hopla Marcus Victorium, just because they're currently in shrink wrap, and I want to open them up myself and see what's inside. So
all the bricks.
Yeah, all the bricks. That might be something that I sneak in tomorrow if I'm awake.
Game of the year, Frostpunk, the one game I don't have in my possession right now, although hopefully soon will. And yeah, Frostpunk better not disappoint me.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
No.
Right, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you very much to everybody for watching tonight, but also thank you to everybody who's watched for the last week. This is part 7, which means I've been doing these for the last 7 days. Essen is over for another year.
Yep. Now back to work. Literal work.
Back to work. Right. Take care, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you to all of my patron supporters for making this channel possible. Do you want to say thank you to yours patron supporters as well?
Nah. No, I said nah. Thanks for everybody who came up and said hi. Nah, it meant a lot.
Yeah, it really did. If you were one of those people that came up to either of us at Essen, whether you're one of our patron supporters or just somebody who likes watching our channels, it makes us feel a little bit weird, because neither of us are really celebrities or anything like that, but it is very
But boy,
much
does it make our
appreciated.
day, yes.
It does. So yeah, keep doing it. And if you're one of those people who comes and who sees us at Essen and is too nervous about speaking to us, which some people are, don't be.
Yeah.
Don't be at all. Just bring chocolate, basically. Give us chocolate.
Chocolate or games?
Chocolate or games.
Emily doesn't. Emily does that. it's like,
That could be a new name for the channel. Chocolate or games.
It's like, Luke, love what you do. Have a cat in the box. It's
There
like,
you go.
great, you know.
Right. Thanks very much for watching. Good night. We'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.